call Metaltronics for the door for the building or storage building. Probably don't want to come out in this heat. I think we should pave the driveway down into the shop. See, this is a bad area. There's a lot of shootings around here. Ooh, look at that. Oh, I love that Lincoln Town car. Ooh, Daddy, get me that one. I could be a gangsta mama. Look at it. See it? Man, I have all the Latinos looking at me. Hey, Lata. How much for carro? Le gusta el carro. Where'd you get, ¿dónde está you buy your carro? I said, in East LA, Pacoima. My family's all down there. The Lopez, my Lopez, my uncle used to own Jalisco Cheese, the Mexican cheese company. There's a story about faith. Wow. That's really some story, how he had to trust God. He didn't want to use pork rennet because he's Seventh-day Adventist and they don't eat pork and unclean meats. And he owned, what did he own, 51% shares, and his partner tricked him, kept telling him he wanted to use the cheaper pork rennet, and mi primo, he didn't want to use pork rennet. He says it's too dangerous. Well, anyway, somehow they voted him out, and mi primo Lopez, Dave Lopez, he lost his business and he was just heartbroken. He got cheated. Well, ain't karma a visit from hell? Because they started using the pig rennet, making it unclean. But it had a bacteria and a couple of people died. And he got sued. He lost it all because he was dishonest, he was cruel, and he cheated. He betrayed my uncle Dave Lopez, who owned Jalisco Cheese in Anaheim, California. But a lot of people died because of that. All for money. Greed. Greed. I don't know what happened to the company. I don't know if it changed hands. Well, I'm sure nobody wanted to buy Jalisco cheese after that. The Mexican cheese is good. I love Mexican cheese. It doesn't give me chorros. Es que bueno para mi stomach, because I don't get no chorros. Not churros. How you doing?
Fine.
You're not gonna let me drive this, are you? Maybe you'll let me drive it on out in the desert where there's nobody.
Well, you can practice.
Yeah.
Cause an accident.
Yeah. Well, if you're tired and we're on the freeway, on a straight freeway going through San Joaquin Valley, There's no reason for me not to drive. Because pulling the truck and trailer is over 50 feet, and this is 40 feet, but I know the swing on the back. You got a 10-foot swing. It's totally different. Anyway, we're getting into downtown Gresham. Anyway, I'll tell you a funny story about Kmart. After we adopted Maria, I had to buy her. She had nothing. She came from an orphanage. She didn't even have underwear. So we had to buy her everything. And we went to Kmart. And she could barely speak any English. Larry's fluent in Spanish, even though I'm half Mexican. And Larry, he doesn't have an ounce of Mexican in him, but he's fluent in Spanish because his dad was the professor for the University of Guadalajara, and Larry went to the University of Guadalajara. So anyway, I took Maria to, I think we'd had her for a couple of weeks, so she was learning English. And we went into Kmart. This is, good evening, Kmart shoppers. We have a blue light special. There was a little blonde American girl that was running the little cart, announcing that she was trying to sell the churros. You know, those long donut things that they're fried sticks that kind of like donuts. They're long things, and then they're rolled into cinnamon and sugar. And once in a while they had a special on them, 2 for $1 or 5 for $1, I forget. Anyway, she said, I mean, this is in El Cajon. Half the people in there are Latino and the other half are white. Poor white, like us. Half mixed. So the little girl goes, good evening, Kmart shoppers. Today on aisle 9, we have a blue light special on churros. We have churros, 5 for $1. And Maria looked at me. She says, ¿Dónde está por churros? How do you say 5 for $1 in Spanish? Churros? And I said, she says, ¿Por qué churros? And the girl kept saying, churros. We have churros, 5 for $1. And all the Latinos were laughing their heads off in the store. Maria was just flabbergasted that they were selling churros. Well, in Spanish, churros means diarrhea. Churros. And churros is the donut. And the little Weta girl, she didn't know how to pronounce churros. She thought it was churros. So anyway, that was a good laugh. Look at the cannabis shop. Let's stop there and get some happy stuff. Happy weed. Oh, or should we go here? Here's another happy weed store, cannabis shop. Let's see, Cannabis Nation, woohoo! Yeah, there's a cannabis shop on every corner. We got a cannabis farm right next to us. And when this weed gets ready for harvest, we can smell it. Oh man, I hope they never have a fire. Then we'll have to stand on our back deck and inhale that horrible stuff, and then we might get thirsty and eat some munchies, Doritos, and then get all paranoid about the cops gonna get us. When I was in Sheriff's Academy, I had to have psychological tests and a polygraph. I was all scared about polygraph. 'Cause you never know. I mean, I was going to answer honestly, but I'd smoked pot a few times. And I was scared they were going to ask me that, which they did. And I said, yes. I was almost crying. Then they asked me if I knew where there was any drugs. I forgot how they worded it. Any illegal drugs or drugs hidden or something. And I choked and I swallowed hard. And I thought about the 2 Vicodin that I had left over from my oral surgery. And I almost started crying. I went, yes. And he kept asking me more questions. And I says, it's in my medicine cabinet. I had some Vicodin when I had my tooth out. And then later after that, I was so worried I was going to get kicked out of academy because they didn't give us the psychological testing until partway through. I was, what, several months into it? I don't know. Anyway, isn't that stupid? Those were the days I didn't take anything. I remember pouring a whole big 2 big bottles of morphine down the toilet after you had your surgery. And then when I had my hysterectomy, they gave me 20 Percocet. I took 2 and it made me puke. Oh, it was awful. So it was 5 days after my surgery. I was supposed to be in bed, but I drove our motorhome down from Oregon down to Sacramento to meet Larry at the Sacramento airport. So I took a Percocet about 4 or 5 hours down the road. We stopped and I rested because I was in pain. It was hard to put the brakes on. That's one thing I couldn't do, is put the brakes on, because I had a 5-hour surgery, a total hysterectomy, and I was in the hospital for 5 days. Yeah, I do. Ooh, the meat market.
I can drive in there.
Yeah, okay. So the second one I took was before we got down, I think from Weed down to, so we stopped in Weed, and then, ooh, I had some weed. So I took a Percocet. It just made me want to puke. So anyway, after I picked Larry up, I thought, I'm not going to take that stuff anymore. And so I thought about it, and I thought, I'll never take these again. And I didn't want them around. I thought the kids would get into them. So I opened up my window and I dumped them all out on the freeway. I don't know how many times I've gone back looking for those. And then later I thought, oh, the poor animals. Maybe the animals, birds got them or something. Anyway, White's Country Meats. Perfect place for a vegan to stop. Anyway, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Hope you enjoy the ride.